Today, we will be attempting to survive 100 days on this island. If you guys have missed the first 2 episodes, let's do a quick recap. So in the first episode, we went exploring to find this island. We set up base with a new village and some stations with chests. Then we built ourselves this small little shack where we can now store all of our workstations and chests inside of it. Then in episode 2, we built ourselves an aircraft which completely got destroyed the second I took flight. So after I rebuilt the aircraft, we paid a visit to the Storm Chaser base camp for the first time. We completed a few of the challenges for the camp, then built ourselves a more reliable aircraft, and to finish off the episode, we built a cannon. Now that brings us to today. We are starting the day off on day number 20. To start off this episode, I wanted to fix our cannon and make it so I could move the cannon and shoot it in any direction I wanted to. So I built myself a little foundation and put a movable swivel on top of that. Then I placed my cannon and voila, I had a moving cannon. So now it was only time that I better test out the cannon. Boom! Alright, now that we had such a tragedy happen, I decided I should pay the Storm Chaser base camp a visit and attempt to get some more challenges done so that we can get even closer to attempting and defeating the Storm King once and for all. So for our first task, we needed to craft a rare crossbow, which didn't take much work at all. I actually had most of the materials in hand that I needed just to craft this. The next challenge I needed to complete was to kill 3 Storm Acolytes, which I thought sounded easy, right? Well, turns out I had thought I killed all 3, but just at the last second, I never even realized this until now, but the skeleton actually sniped my kill and it did not count for me. So I had to wait until the next night over again just to get my last Storm Acolyte kill. So while I was waiting for the nighttime, I decided I would attempt to complete the last challenge, which was to build myself a rune forge, which I thought was going to be easy, but turns out getting cursed bones is a lot harder said than done. And finally, by the end of day 21, I had killed the last bone wolf, so that means I finally had enough cursed bones to build myself a rune forge. And if you're wondering, yes, that same night I did kill myself the last Storm Acolyte as well. I just forgot to include it in this video. And once I completed all of the challenges, I realized I had one more challenge to complete. I just had to apply a rune to my weapon, so that wasn't too hard. I just put my sword in the forge and enchanted it with damage 1, which means we now officially completed all of the Storm Chaser challenges, which means we can now travel back over to the base camp and upgrade this village. So I made my way back over there, upgraded the village to level 3, then I decided to take on a brute, which was actually surprisingly easy to kill considering how bad I am at this game. Now that we are a level 3 village, we did unlock some new challenges, which consist of collecting 20 metal, building a vehicle, and building an oven. The villagers at the camp basically gave me all of the materials to build that vehicle, so challenge number 1 was quite easy. And to collect 20 metal, I just talked to a villager and they gave me 20 metal. And for the final challenge, I pretty much had everything on hand to build an oven, so I upgraded the village to level 4. Now I know this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to shorten things up here for the last challenge. Basically, I just had to enter a storm and collect some storm fruit and pop some bubbly looking things on the ground. So that's what I did. I drove over to the storm, completed the task, and headed back to the base camp where I finally upgraded the village to level 5.